What did you learn about the opposite sex a little late in life? Not all men want sex all the time. When I was young, my mom would tell me that men only want one thing. Everyone from my relatives to pop culture seemed to agree that men wanted sex 100% of the time, which led me to have some foolish insecurities when I was dating someone and they weren't in the mood. Because if men want sex all the time and he didn't want sex right now, then it must just be me, right? It took me a long time to learn that men can be not in the mood and it has nothing to do with me. That guys can flex their dicks. Now I make my boyfriend do it because it just blows my mind. That towel turban actually has their hair twisted up in it : I was a young boy. I kicked my older sister in the crotch. Found out that girls don't have the male genitalia. I felt guilty for playing with their tits during sex. I assumed they got no pleasure out of it. Turns out they, usually, love it too. From the ages of 14 to 25, I thought that guys just hung out and watched porn together on the couch, like dudes being dudes, giving each other high fives and shit. The vagina is not on the front like the penis. I was shocked how up under there it is. When you find a girl you like, just fucking tell them. As soon as I learned they don't know unless you tell them, I was away. I was in a life drawing class when I was 18 and most of us were 18-year-old girls. It was cold that morning, so the nude model's dick looked really small and I think most of us didn't know dicks could grow because there was giggling. I'm sorry, Tim. We know your dick isn't always small now. That men often rely on their female SOS as their sole source of emotional support and open communication. This led to a lot of confusing situations for me when guys didn't really want to be in a relationship with me, but they couldn't do without the emotional companionship it provided for them, so I often ended up getting what felt like very mixed signals. It took me a long time to learn that mixed signals almost always means I should leave. I thought penises got slimy and slippery when men were about to have sex. I have no idea where I got this idea, to be honest. When I was 16 and was fumbling through my first hand blowjob, I remarked on how soft-skinned and dry his dick was. I kid you not, my uncle actually believed women never passed gas. Not until he was almost 40 years old, married my aunt, dad's younger sister, and she proceeded to rip the loudest one under the covers he had ever heard. Apparently the women on his side of the family refused to acknowledge that women fart, and a few of them have said it in front of me. I have had mostly male friends in my life, so naturally most of the nights of heavy drinking have been predominantly with men. But the other night I got drunk and was with mostly women, and let me say, the way drunk women gas each other up is the greatest thing. Just raining compliments on each other non-stop. How kind and trustworthy she is. How great her outfit is today and every day. How proud we are of her new job, etc, etc. Getting myself caught in the crossfire and being on the receiving end of that unrelenting love, especially while plastered, was something I have never experienced with my guy friends. Also made me realize how good it feels to let your friends know how great they are. Like, why don't I do that more often? I was 15 when I found out a woman's vagina is not just a few inches below the belly button. In movies, the missionary position made it seem to me like a guy entering a woman was directly down from a push-up position. When I had sex for the first time with my now wife, I was pushing my penis against her mons pubis, wondering why it wouldn't go in. Girls have to get wet to enjoy sex. I didn't realize that a dick can change sizes without an erection just by how a man is standing, sitting, or laying down. Monkey covering eyes. I used to think my boyfriend always had like a half chub when he was standing up versus when he is laying down on the bed. A girl I used to know thought, well into her 20s, that the semen of African American males was colored black. You know, like when you grab a woman's breast and you feel it and it feels like a bag of sand? Men do not need the stuff that happens in porn in order to enjoy sex. And I don't either. It took forever for me to realize is that changing positions, speed, angle, etc all the time is not needed, or even wanted. You find the place, time and speed at which it works for you both and you repeat it. Men will be over the moon if you show enthusiasm during sex and will be more than happy to repeat the same motion for more than 60 seconds if it gets the woman they're with to come. Except I didn't know this. My EXP was based entirely on porn where weird position, quick changes and alternations I used simply for the visual. Sex became a lot better once I figured that out and was no longer afraid to ask for what I need. The vagina does not simply suck up the load like a sponge. I thought it just magically disappeared in there. Was 16 my first time when I realized. I'm 29 and married. I had no idea that when balls move up when they're cold, just the testicle went up and it goes like into their abdomen, and he can push it back down. Maybe you won't get cheated on and meet a nice girl, and great to see the female population of Reddit coming out like crazy. This is by far the most upvoted comment I have ever had. Edit 2. Gold and silver, and my highest upvoted comment ever. If there was a version of being hit on Reddit, this is it. Balls involuntarily move all the time. The skin ripples. It is prominent when going from one climate to another, such as getting out of the shower and drying off. I didn't know what a clit was and where it could be found the first time I tried oral on a woman. I really had no idea what I was doing. Big boobs are a problem. Like apparently it causes posture problems and it makes their back hurt. It's one thing if it's implants, but I also know girls who are just naturally big chested and they hated it. It's like your body is trying to make your life difficult. What the hell, nature? That women sometimes rant just for you to listen, not to give advice. Advice is even sometimes offensive in those situations. They enjoy masturbation, and they appreciate it if you help them out. That breastfeeding requires feeding your lady large amounts of food, more than when pregnant, and that sexy times releases the same hormone as a baby's cry. Don't try to fix their problems, just be a good listener. Women are extremely self-conscious about their looks. I played sports and being in locker rooms, I got used to playful teasing over whether a dude has man boobs or wears a tiny jock strap. Turns out, women take that shit super serious to where a joke about uneven boobs or whatever can cause a major complex. Sorry, Karen. Women love getting their heads scratched. It's weird magic, I swear. For your information, make sure you're friends with the woman first. And I can't believe I have to say this, but ask first, usually for any body contact, folks. If your penis is of a remarkable size, it will be mentioned by the woman, big or small. If you like anything kinky, it will be brought up. If you disappoint her or make her hips sway all day, it will be brought up. She will tell her friends what she wants you to do to her, but oftentimes not you. That's not to say women blabber every little detail, but they go into a lot more depth than guys will. Meanwhile, the dudes' conversations often center around alcohol or food. Other popular conversation topics include titties or something involving mechanics. That females are actually pretty gross. No offense ladies, but on the whole the gal's restroom was always a nightmare to clean compared to the gentleman's restroom. Women don't have blue fluid leaking from their body. I was like 13 when I learned that MaxiPad commercials pour blue fluid on them to show their absorbance because blood would be in bad taste. If your lady says she's hungry, feed her now. Avoid so many pointless fights. Something I've started to notice recently is that guys really like feeling needed. I'm a pretty self-sufficient woman, and have never really felt like I've necessarily needed anyone for anything other than companionship and emotional support. But, and I could be wrong, maybe it's just the type of guys I've been with more recently. I've noticed guys don't really like that I have my shit together, and sometimes I feel like I hurt their feelings when I don't need their help for everything. Women often do grow old and look like their mother. I'm ready this time. Downvote the hell out this. But, no, I've been married for 34 years. I have street cred. Women want men just as much as we want women. My entire teenage life I was afraid to talk to girls. But as soon as I got over that fear, life got a lot better. Some women are fascinated at seeing your cock throb and move without you touching it. They're like, OMG, do it again. Do it again. What women find attractive is a goddamn mystery sometimes. How to communicate with them. It may sound cliche, but there really is a world of difference between how men and women say what's on their mind. Changing angle, and the canal gets longer and more engorged, tighter. This is the reason a guy who just goes in fast before foreplay might think his penis is extra long today because he hit the cervix, when in reality his partner may simply have needed some more time to get into it. Then again, chances are maybe she likes getting jumped for just that very reason. You'll have to ask her. Vaginas vary in size just as much as penises do. That white women can have brown nipples. Guys with vasectomies still ejaculate. I don't know what made me think this, but I assumed nothing came out when they orgasm after the procedure. Probably jokes like they took the venom out of the cobra. I lived a very sheltered life until I was about 16. Some of the seniors in my sophomore math class were talking about donating sperm. I assumed they had some sort of slang word for peeing in a cup, and I asked where could I go and get paid to pee in a cup. Men can move their penis, more like a bobbing motion, but what the fuck.